Well, hi guys. So this is going to be a fun video, and a different type as well. I want to build myself a new main workstation slash gaming system. At the moment, the system that I've been using for a number of years now is a 10900K with 32 gigabytes of memory and an RTX 3080. And honestly, it's been pretty good, and it's still a pretty decent system. But, so hopefully you can see this. This is the 13900K, and basically I want to place it into this slightly small but still pretty serviceable deep cool computer case. Now the reason I'm doing this is the 13900K was previously my main, I guess you could say, test system benchmarking rig, but now that I've got a 9950X 3D, that's going to serve as my high-end rig. But then I also have a Ultra 265K from Intel, which will be like, kind of the mid-high range Intel big rig. And then I also want to use the 10900K. And that is going to be, if I want to test like kind of games that are just bordering on the minimum slash recommended specification, because I can disable hyper-threading, I can disable cores, and so on and so on. So yeah, the whole purpose of this basically is to turn the system into something that actually works. So the good news is I have just retested this board. By the way, apologies for the mess here. This is actually another thing that I'm doing. I'm reorganizing the office. But honestly, I'll get around to it at some point. So this does all work. I actually tested this just last night. 13900K, I've just thrown in a couple of sticks of memory here just to make sure that the system booted and all was good with the iGPU. The problem is this case is pretty titchy. So this is a Palette RTX 4090. It's not the smallest GPU in the world, but it pretty much just takes up the majority of this case. I mean, I'm not exactly holding this the best here. In fact, I'm holding it the reverse way, but you can see that it pretty much goes up to these fans. Now, the problem is the cooler that we have doesn't actually fit at the top. It's blocked. So what I'm going to have to do this is going to be fun. I have to take out these fans, put this as the front facing, and also reorientate the fans. Put this in the front, so basically it's pulling air into the system through the radiator. And then I guess have a couple of fans at the top here as well. Throw this in, and then hope to the gods the RTX 4090 will actually fit into this case. If not, I might have to go down the tier list. I think I have a 4080 or something like that that could maybe go in. Gaming is not the main purpose of the system. It is mostly editing. So honestly, a 4080 would be absolutely fine. But I would rather use the 4090 if possible, because it would give me some extra VRAM. Now, I was initially going to use this, which is an RTX 5080 Astral. It just ain't going to fit. There's no way that's going to work. And I did actually do some tape measurements, so check this out. So if we measure this fan here, okay, if I move my finger out the way so you guys can see, that'll probably help, right? So we've got like an inch. And this is around 2 inches. So basically, it's around double the thickness. And yeah, that's what she said. So anyway, guys, this is going to be an interesting experience. We are experiencing success. So this is, again, RTX 4090. I can't put this in properly as in plonk it into the slot, but I can at the very least hold it. So if I do a quick measuring here, you can see that, yeah, test, it does just about clear the fans. So the good news is the 4090 is a go. I was a little skeptical at one point because there's like a little section that kind of juts here, just a little bit, but it's not too bad. The configuration here is pretty simple. We have a pull configuration, so obviously it's pulling air in from the front here. I've taken the front panel off at the moment. It's actually quite easy to pull in and out, which is quite nice. It's as I said, it's a deep cool case, and it's a little small. I might switch this in the future depending, but I think it should be okay because, you know, theoretically, especially in the winter, which is right now in the UK as of the time I'm recording this, it should have plenty of access to cold air, and I'm not going to be like overclocking the system anyway. So I'm going to figure out the configuration of fans at the top here and probably just have, maybe if I can, I'll try to fit in all three so that there's as much air as possible. Obviously we have kind of an enclosed compartment here for the power supply. But yeah, so far it's pretty simple. It's actually going a lot smoother than what I anticipated. The good news is the screws are in, and that was a real pain in the butt with that particular screw over there. But anyway, I haven't put every screw in, but at this point I just want to assemble the system simply. So, good old plane going by, that's not upsetting. The one nice thing about the deep cool fans is they actually have really nice simple orientation arrow. Not all fans have that. I think I'm just going to reuse the fans that I have. This system is not really going to be like a pretty focused system. It's probably just going to be under the desk, so I don't really care too much about the aesthetics as long as airflow is good. So I guess if we just kind of hold them, I'll have to probably do something like that. So this deep cool, where are you? Bloody hell, we're getting mixed up with the wires. There we are. This son of a deadly, I keep picking up the wrong cable. So this deep cool AIO, we have stuff here for RGB, which probably not going to worry about, honestly. But this one also requires SATA power, so this is like a standard AIO. I also realised I peeled this. There you go, guys. Well, that just didn't work. It's not like that's supposed to do. It's supposed to be... Are you getting me? There we go. Kind of. Alright, yeah, that's it. You can even flip it. Okay, there we go. Cool. Right, so anyway, I will plonk all the fans in. And then I think we should be good to put the card in. Well, that didn't go exactly to plan. A couple of days have passed because, you know, real life hit me. But the good news is the system is relatively finished at this stage. I'm probably still going to make some changes in the future. I'm still not 100% certain on the case and the graphics card. And I'd also like to upgrade the SSD. But for now, I just need something that's going to be up and running because I really need to start transitioning the files off of my 10900K and doing some other bits and pieces. And I also want to do some testing just to make sure, because the board has been, well, let's just say it's been in storage and other bits and pieces. I just want to make sure that everything is stable. With that said, let's have a look at what we're doing so far. For the power supply, I'm using a Corsair RM850X. I was using that with this system before, but then I switched to a slightly higher wattage one, 1000 watts. But this is still probably going to be absolutely okay with an RTX 4090, I imagine, because there's not going to be much else running on the system. I'm not going to be doing any overclocking. Excuse me. I think I'm going to remove this drive bay. It just isn't really going to benefit me too much. And sorry, I'm not really getting a good camera angle here. There we go. And also it's just going to impede airflow. It's probably not going to make a massive difference, but I figure I may as well just remove it so I've got a little bit of extra space to work and for the cables to be routed. Okay, we're at the moment of truth. I mean, half the wires are still plugged in and cable management sucks ass, but we should be able to see whether at the very least it turns on. So I don't know whether that monitor's turned on or not. We'll find out in just a moment here. Let me just make sure that it's plugged in. Okay, yeah. So there's good news, like the RGB on the board is going, which is the power button. Okay. Well, the stuff's spinning. Okay, there's a light. Here's something happening. Oh, there we go. No keyboard detected. It indeed won't be. Hey! We got a system working. To give you an idea how old this Windows installation is, the 12400 was when I first installed this Windows. That's not good. Probably needs a reinstall. This is what I'm saying, like a bunch of stuff needs to be resolved. The memory apparently is running 6800, which is pretty nice. This is some King Bank memory. I actually did a sponsored video on this on Red Gaming Tech, but I legit am still using it. It's actually quite nice memory, believe it or not. So I think we're in a pretty good position. Actually, one last thing. So now the system's all put together. And I think it looks pretty good, actually. Maybe better than I expected. And also, as a nice bonus, the glass panel is not pushing up against the power connector anywhere near as much as I was anticipating. So that's definitely a really good thing. Now, I know as well that RGB lighting is uneven. To be honest, I'm still 50-50 whether I want to plug the RGB in on the top there and then just have it rainbow colored, or just take out the RGB here and then disable it on the RAM. So I'm kind of 50-50 and torn, because I kind of like the idea of just a dark system for when I'm editing, but at the same time, there's a part of me that kind of likes the puke RGB. Let me know your thoughts on that as well. Well guys, I think that's a pretty good place to call the video. The system is working, as you can see, which is absolutely phenomenal. And that was the main purpose of the video, just to see whether it even boots, to be honest. I'm still a little torn whether I'm going to keep the fast memory, because this is like 6800, 32 gigabytes. The other option is I could put the 48 gigabyte set into this system, which is a little bit faster, or I could use this set, so I was looking for it, which is 6000 MTS. So I might have to do some testing and see what, because I've not actually used this before. So maybe I can get some overclocking on it as well and run it a little bit faster. But maybe 64 gigabytes at like 6000 is going to be fine anyway. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on that. I'll probably stick with the 4090. I might even downgrade this. I think I have a 4080 somewhere. I might downgrade it to the 4080, because to be honest, I don't really think that a 4090 is needed for like what I'm doing. So I might just keep the 4090 out for like other types of testing. So I'm not 100%. But yeah, I'll probably do an update regarding this system in the next couple of weeks or months, depending on how long it takes me to get there. I still have a bunch of stuff to do with lights and other bits and pieces, but hopefully I can improve the visual quality right now. But with that said, take care of yourselves. Bye.